Hello. This is the final video of 2018. It's kind of exciting, I think. So, kind of wanted to talk about like a topic that most people think about this time of year, which is the whole like New Year's resolutions. 2019 is going to be starting soon, and a lot of people go through like a whole assess and create resolutions, which I think is okay. But I think a lot of people come at it from a place of like negativity or a place of fear or whatever. They come at it from like a lower vibrational area where they're trying to like do something because they're afraid of the result of not doing that thing. And we talked about this, I think, in the last video. The idea that if the approach is from a different angle, where the reason you're trying to do something is because of the positive outcome of what you're trying to attain. So instead of being so worried, let's say I want to make more money, right? Instead of being so worried about what's going to happen if I don't make more money, like, oh, I won't be able to pay my bills and I'll be broke and all these, instead of getting so caught up in the negative of it, I would fixate on what would happen if I did make more money. What kind of things could I do? What creative projects would I be able to put money into? What types of things could I be involved with that maybe I'm not involved with now? Like, that's the idea, is to try to come at it from a point of view where you're looking at it with a positive intention. What am I going to gain from this? And I think that New Year's resolutions will work really well if people approach them this way. So if you were so excited about what it is you're going to achieve. Now, I think the other problem is that a lot of people set resolutions that they kind of don't expect to achieve. And it's like I almost feel like people are setting themselves up for failure because they know they're not going to achieve it, and they want to beat themselves up for it later in the year for failing or something. So maybe be more like, instead of like a whole like, my goal for 2019 is to blah blah blah, maybe break it down and be like, hey, my goal for like the first 3 months is like to do this, and then maybe the next 3 months is to do this. And if you do some kind of a step-by-step process, then maybe you won't fail so much as you'll just fall a little short, and then you can reassess and put more energy into it, instead of just failing and just giving up halfway through the year, or honestly, midway through February. My resolution is to finally quit using nicotine. I was a cigarette smoker for a long time, for like 14 years, and then I switched to vaping about 4 years ago as a way to step down my nicotine, and I've stepped down all the way down to like 2 milligrams now of nicotine, which is like the lowest I can get that isn't 1 milligram, which is the next step, which I expect to be doing January through March at 1. I'm going to be honest, I'm going to be mixing some 1 and 2, and then maybe by the middle of the year I'll try 0, and see if I could wean myself off of the vaping without the nicotine. We'll see. So that's my goal is structured in these progress points, and this year, 2018, was the year that I was going to get myself to, reduce my nicotine, and I did. I started the year at like 6 milligrams, and halfway through the year I was at 4, and then somewhere a few months ago I hit 3, and now I'm at 2, so I did what my goal was incrementally through the year, and I felt kind of proud about that. So that's kind of what's got me thinking about that whole thing. That's not my only goal. Like, I have a lot of goals as far as like listen more, be more able to clearly communicate, make friends with unique people. That's my goal every year, is to try to make friends with unique people. Because I'm the kind of person where I always like to be in a conversation with somebody, and they talk about something, and maybe I have nothing in my life that relates to the thing they're talking about. But I have met enough people that I can almost always say, I have a friend somewhere, and then I'll have a story from that friend about how it relates to this other person. And the more people I've met, granted, doing like door-to-door marketing in California for years made it so that I did meet a lot of people, and I heard a lot of interesting stories from people, because people like to tell stories. It's just the more people I meet and the more I get to know people, I'm just amazed at the ability of just of life, you know, the ability to live and enjoy life and have so much fun. I don't know, it's just cool, you know? It is up to each individual. That's my second part of today's video. Have fun. You know, be happy, basically. Like, okay, are you breathing? Like, do you have a fucking pulse right now? Guess what? Be happy. You're alive, okay? I know there are things in life that can make us sad, okay? Whether it's internal pain, emotional, physical, you know, whether it's situations happening to people around us that's making us emotional, whether it's frustration with not having enough money or not having enough food or not having enough time. I get it, but if you're being upset, if you're stressed, if you're sad, if you're angry, if you're whatever, it's okay to feel those emotions in the moment when something's happening. But I think if you're just in that emotion consistently, I don't think it's healthy, honestly. And my bigger thing is this: there are people out there who didn't wake up this morning. There are people who died. You know, every day, every morning when you wake up, somebody out there did not wake up. So be happy. Please, try. Find something in your life. Every moment that you feel yourself slipping into any kind of sadness or any kind of self-doubt or self-negativity, you know, it's not productive. It's not helping you. Be happy, okay? Find something to make yourself feel happy. I like to watch comedy, so I'll turn on some random stand-up comedy, or something funny, right? I watch a lot of video games on Twitch, and so I find the people that play the video games, whether they realize it or not, are very funny, to me, at least. And so humor is what gets me through everything. You know, some of the stupidest things will happen, and instead of getting so upset, especially with work-related stuff, right, my brain will flip, and I will just see it as the funniest thing ever. I'll be like, oh, wow, this is gonna be like 3 extra hours of work, and it's all because something happened. That's so funny! If that thing hadn't happened, my day would have been easy. But then that thing happened, and my day's not easy now. Yay! Funny! It doesn't always work, okay? Sometimes I get super, super stressed out, and nothing is funny. But sometimes it's funny. Yeah. Okay. So, set good New Year's resolutions if you're going to that are attainable with timelines so that you can, you know, work on them and not freak out if you're not hitting the mark. You can just keep readjusting, right? Do them from a place of positivity. Go focus on what you're going for, not what you're running away from. Huh? Huh? Try it. Don't knock it until you tried it. Try it for like a month. Try to put all your focus on the positive things you're trying to achieve and let go of all the... Anytime your mind's thinking of what you're trying to get away from, oh, I don't like this, or oh, I'm afraid this is going to happen, stop that thought and reframe it to, I can't wait until I have this, or I'm looking forward to when this happens, or I'm so excited that I'm on the path to allowing this to happen. Huh? Try it. You'd be surprised. I was stubborn, okay? People give me this kind of advice like throughout my 20s, and I was like, whatever, I know what I'm doing. Then towards my late 20s, I'm like getting depressed, and I'm like, I don't think I know what I'm doing. And then by my 30s, I'm like, I had no idea what I was doing. Crap. I still don't know what I'm doing. Spoiler alert, nobody does. But if you can set positive resolutions from a positive place, and have fun with it through 2019, and if you can be happy, smile, be happy, do something that makes you happy, if you can do those things, 2019 is going to be a way easier year than 2018 was, because all the other people aren't going to be doing those things. They're going to be setting resolutions that they're going to fail on. They're going to then beat themselves up for most of the year about why they failed. They're not going to be happy, they're going to be depressed, or miserable, or just mean, and they're going to try to spread that energy to you and everyone else. Don't be those people. Please. I won't be. I promise. Vow. I will not be those people. It's up to you, though. Each of us has got to make that choice. So, happy 2019. Enjoy. 2018 was a year. Things happened. So, yeah. Thank you all for being here and watching any of these videos that you've watched. And I will continue making more. I've said I will, and I will. Bye.